Well, hey neighbors, welcome to the Shed Shop outdoor episodes. We just had a nice debacle we dealt with. I was changing the SD card in the S10 here, and the slide, when I pulled it out, went flying in my closet, which is stuffed, mind you. But my little tool is in my closet on my little shelf in there. And instead of being smart and leaving the crowded closet, I pulled it out in the closet, all three flung everywhere, and my eyes, since I only have two, could only follow the SIM card and the SD card falling down through all the clutter. And so I just spent like an hour and a half trying to find that thing, plus trying to find somebody in town that I could buy one from. And I finally did find it in the closet, fortunately. I decided to go look one last place, a drawer that I thought it might have just kind of like that Planko game on Price is Right there, just kind of Planko down into this one little spot. And sure enough, that's where it was. So praise the Lord that we found it. We're gonna start the teardown on the STIHL 028 Wood Boss, the 1980 model, with the rare metal tank on the rear handle. And this saw was purchased by a neighbor named Eric, and you can see the video. Yeah, John Doe dropped a tree on her 20 years ago. I forget the exact title, but these two saws were both purchased by Eric. And I'm real happy this neighbor is purchasing these saws together, because when I bought them, I have not really made them a priority. One, because I've been busy, but two, also because I really knew there was a guy out there that was going to want both these saws with the story. And so Eric is that guy. And so Eric, here's your beautiful STIHL 028 as we tear it down, the second one. So there's going to be 4 videos total, hopefully, on the 2 teardowns. We're outside. Because of the debacle, it's getting dark and it's getting cold fast. Sweating today, cold at night. And so we're just going to do about 10 to 15 minutes teardown on this. And then we got to charge the phone, move everything inside, and then we'll do the rest of the teardown on the bench this evening. So with that, let's turn you over to the STIHL 028 and show you some teardown. And I did just discover that I didn't know my videos had transcript. I thought you had to be monetized to have that happen. And I'm really grateful they are, because I have deaf neighbors, and I would feel bad because I don't have sign language to put up for them. I don't even know sign language. And I think it's not right. If a deaf person wants to come on this channel, they should be able to have some way to enjoy the content as well, and not have to do it in silence, so to speak. Their sound is the words on the screen, or the frequency and the moving of hands for sign language. So I'm just gonna untag this. Again, you guys, this was a 1980, and as I start to tear down, I'll remind you of the story in case you don't know it already and haven't seen it. I bought both of these saws from a local neighbor. This one and the other 028, which is a 1986. And this neighbor, the other one, dropped a tree on it 20 years ago or so. I believe that's what he said. I cannot remember if I verified the story or not with him via text message. But then he bought this one that we're taking apart right now to replace the other one. It never stopped running. He just didn't think it was safe to run it. He wasn't sure, so he just kept it in case he ever needed any parts off of it, and he never did. And so it was a complete saw. The wrap handle's bent, the clutch cover was messed up, but that saw was in my shop for a few weeks. And this one I got to see running at the house. I did not cut with it, but I was comfortable enough to buy it for the price. The price was fair, and I also got a vintage case. And so I finally, one night, you can watch the video. I believe it's like John Doe. Yeah, I dropped a tree on her 20 years ago. I ain't touched her since. Something like that. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Oh, yeah. This is interesting. I forgot this had a different spark plug. I'm going to show you guys something here. I have to get I believe that's going to be, I'm going to pause you guys, okay? This is not a standard spark plug in this. Okay, sorry, it's a 5/8 on this spark plug, so I had to go get it. I always recommend, guys, untighten and tighten your spark plug as far as possible with the fingers. And I'm going to do a video to show you how to keep that from stripping out, tips and tricks. I do a lot of helicoils. Be surprised. So I'm not entirely sure why we had this DJ7Y spark plug in there, but we did. That's what the saw came with, and I tried to give the saw life with its very own spark plug that it came with, at least from the neighbor. So that's how you do your top cover. There normally is a flathead screw that you can use an 8mm wrench right here, because the flathead doesn't always fit. On this one it might have, but you can also use the 8mm wrench. I've got my box down here for parts. We'll go ahead and take off our 3/4 inch bar nuts, bolts. This is a really pretty saw, you guys. It's got some patina, but it's really, these metal handle ones and this has got a unique old style brake handle. So this is a really good saw. Normally I'd sit here and blow all this off, but we're gonna do all that later because I unplugged my air hose anyways, because of sake of time. Now your recoil is gonna be 4 flathead. I'm sorry, this is the 3 actually. That's the other thing. It's only a 3. Whoops, I thought I had drained my fuel already. Okay, so we must drain our fuel. Pause you while I do that. All right, great. This one had fuel. I know it was not rancid, but we still put it in a secondary jar. We'll use it either to clean stuff or we'll burn it off on a rock over there. Over there, guys. Over there. We'll use it for something. I don't like all too often reusing fuel unless I've only put it in there just recently and I know the tank's clean and stuff. I don't know, I just sometimes rather not take a chance. I'll use it in my own stuff because if it messes up, I can rebuild it, but I never want to put it back in the tank with my fuel that I'm using regularly. And I use non-ethanol, but not everybody has that available. I use non-ethanol only in the 2-strokes. This early model, you guys, is a little bit different than the last teardown we did. Like this is a pre-collared screw. The other one has a collar on the screw. The other one will have, the later models will have 4 flathead screws on the recoil, and they'll have T25s on the top sometimes. It really depends on what year it came out. I don't know when they started changing over, and Nathan's 041 has hex heads, so, but I can't recall, unfortunately, guys, from over 10 years ago when I touched one of those last. I went many years without touching a chainsaw at all since my accident. But yeah, little variances, you guys, little variances, but it's important to pay attention to them because when you have those variances, oh goodness, when you have those variances, you could end up getting the wrong parts sometimes and they won't fit. You guys hear that? Oh, you can't hear it? Listen a little harder. You hear it? Exactly. That's called beautiful country silence. The only thing there is a tractor out in the distance mowing hay. Okay, now when we get in here, we can go ahead and take our coil off. 2 T25s, or I'm sorry, T27s, you guys. T27s. I'm not working on a deck. I'm not hanging screws in the shop. T27s. We're working on chainsaws, darn it. You know what? These are going to be hex heads. See? So this early, that tells us 1980, you guys. Steel was still using hex heads. And I forget what size it is, so I'm not prepared. I think it's 5/32. Let's see. Feels like it. I really should turn the compressor on or hook the hose back up. So many bolt heads are dirty. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about drilling these So we're gonna do it by hand. It just something doesn't. I'm just nervous. They're old. I don't know. Oh yeah. Sorry guys about the view here. Eric, once again, we're gonna have to increase the price on you, buddy. Hazardous conditions charge. Oh boy. Let's see here. Okay, that one broke loose. Not broke, but broke loose. Yeah, that one I just don't feel. I don't feel the what's happening, you guys. I think is the bit's not going down into the head of the bolt, and it's potentially because it's dirty, but it's not that bad. It doesn't seem, but we'll clean it out. Okay, there's a lot more in there than I thought. Wow. A good way to do this is an air compressor, but sometimes I just grab what's in front of me. Sometimes it can work. Okay, let's give that a whirl there. That's better. Okay, great. Yeah. I'm screwing it back in just because my bit got stuck, and it'll help me get it out. So these are I believe the 5/32 is the correct size. It fit well, you guys. Okay. And we'll come up here, and our wire is going to pass through this grommet. It's going to be down here on our kill switch. And let's see if you guys can see that. All we're going to do for now we're going to end up taking the whole trigger off too, but all we're going to do for now, you guys, if you can't see this, I've discovered if you're on a phone, you can zoom in as the video is playing like you would normally zoom in on your phone screen. And so I'm just feeding the wire through. There's a little metal retaining clip on the end here, grommet. I'm not sure what the technical term is. And then the wire should pop out of that. This lead wire, I'm going to be doing a little bit of work to it probably because it's an old saw, and so I'm guessing some of the jacket is going to be dry rot. It feels pretty good, actually. I'm surprised, but I normally leave this grommet in. Now, if I use certain solvents on this, I won't. If I don't use biodegradable, this is metal, I won't use my biodegradable solvent because it's corrosive, and that means that I'm sorry, I don't know if corrosive is a scientific term on that. But basically, it can cause rust. I don't know. I think these cases are made out of magnesium or something, but I just don't like to take chances. So, I haven't done enough of the research to know. We'll go ahead and take the muffler off next. And the muffler is just going to be, we'll just do a couple more minutes here, you guys. The muffler is going to be on this one. Let me tell you, since it's an old model, it is, well, there's one T25 with a spring on it. That's weird. I've never seen that before on an 028. I've worked on a lot of these. And that might be a home patch. Yeah, it does look like it may have been. I don't know. I have not seen that before. Somebody put a bunch of washers on that. Oh, you know why? Because the screw's too long. So we'll replace that screw. That muffler bolt screw. That's what it looks like anyways. These are really short. They're like that long. The front ones sometimes, if they don't screw into the case, they're really short. Okay, this other one was that 5/32, it looks like. And I'm not going to get that off by hand without a ratchet. Nope, not even going to try. And as you guys can see, this is why I use a drill. It's hard for me. I don't have the strength. I grabbed the wrong thing there. Same with this stuff. I usually have to have pliers to get these bits out. But I'm staying encouraged, and I'm learning every day to work with the limitations that I have. And as long as I continue to do that, we'll be okay. I'm going to be posting a couple videos about the same time as this, you guys. It depends on the upload times. I really want you guys to watch them. It's about blowback. It's about carburetor blowback. And, you know, I'm going to do a video on it because the thing is that, and inside, see, now we go inside, you guys, and now we've got torque bits. We've got the T27 torque bits again, which is kind of interesting. And carburetor blowback, I have vacuum pressure testers, and I have specialty flanges that STIHL makes. I used all their tools. An air leak doesn't present. You've replaced all kinds of parts. And you're still getting carburetor blowback. Well, I'm going to show you some solutions to find that. And I'm going to tell you all the causes of it that I know of. So we'll do that. This does have a metal muffler gasket. I usually just replace those. I buy them in Balkan, so they're not too bad. And you can tell this piston is old, but it still looks in excellent condition. I don't know if we'll reuse it or not. We have to measure everything first. I'd like to. I mean, it's a 1980 saw. I'd love to keep everything on it that's on it that I possibly can, except like rubbers, you know. An intake boot maybe. They're not cheap, and they're really durable. They last forever. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm going to get the IPL for this serial number from Mark over at Columbia Steel. He's a really good guy. The mechanic over there is amazing too. He has always been willing to help me. If I run into a situation where I'm confused, I can ask him. I was working on an FS90R, and I says to him up there, I says, Coop, I said, buddy, I'm having a problem. I am looking for my flathead, you guys, right here. Okay, so next, you guys, let me tell you what we're here for first. Next, I'm gonna do the brake parts here real quick, and then we'll end this video. I hope I have enough battery. So for the retaining clip, just put your flathead scrunch, if you have it, in there, and you're gonna use the crankshaft to pry. And keep your finger in front of that clip or it will go flying. Next, you're going to have a retaining washer. My recommendation is, if you're going to leave this on your bench, if you're just replacing one thing and then going right back together with it, if we can get this retaining washer off, which I'm struggling. We're not reusing the sprocket. I already know that. I've got sprockets for both of these, but I've got to get with the neighbor and recollect what we decided on bar and chain, and because I think I got one 3/8 and 1.325, and maybe he would like two setups. Yeah, this is not gonna come off. I'm gonna have to do a little bit with that because the crankshaft, I'm gonna have to get a sandpaper, maybe. And we'll sand that so we can get that off, clean it up a little bit. I feel like it should come, though. It's so close. There we go. Watching that, watching that, watching that. Let me grab that before I lose sight of it. I have more, but again, I really like to keep things with the saw if I can. That's why these two saws did not get broke down together. I don't normally break down vintage saws, this kind of vintage saw, like 025s I will all day long, because they only have slight variances. Okay, next, you guys. And on this one, it's different. On the other saw, I believe these were all T27s, but on this saw, it looks like they're flatheads. And I like working on stuff like this, kind of like Cody's John Deere CS62. I did put that on the camera, and I'm really mad that I did, because it's gone. It just disappeared. It vanished. As soon as I was done recording, I unmounted the card from the camera. I went inside, put it on my computer, mounted it, and the video's not there. And so I'm sad about that, because that one's real important to me. But anyways, it's humbling to have to hand turn. I can't do it all the time, but it's humbling. Very humbling. keeps me humble, and it keeps me appreciative that I do have power tools. Because, you know, you guys, some people out there, they can't afford power tools. Just like you should be appreciative if you've got a piece of crap car. Because you know what, you guys? Some people out there can't afford a piece of crap car. And you should be grateful that you have a house. Because you know what, guys? I've been that guy that's been out there and didn't have a place to live. So be grateful for what you have. I'm not saying I'm always perfect at being grateful and being humble. But I know I need to keep trying to do better. Okay, you guys. These are going to take a little bit while to get out. And so with that, I'm going to close this video out. We'll do a second one on this inside on the bench. If you like the video, I really appreciate the thumbs up. And if you don't, you can hit the thumbs down. That's okay. But I'd much prefer if you just go down in the comments and tell me how I can improve and tell me that you didn't very much like the video. Just do it in kindness and love. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Take a moment to look at the Shed Shop 2.0 video. And the way you can help support me to get toward that is just encourage me with the thumbs up, the subscribe, hit the bell notification, and click on all so you guys know when I post new videos of all the saws that have been on the channel so far, and watch the progress of them. We got the 288, we got the 266 coming up soon, the conclusion of all that stuff, and we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.